following program is brought to you by Aim, Associated Industries of Massachusetts.
Aim is a business association with 3,500 members. We represent small and large companies, companies from every industry sector.
It's been a time of tremendous resilience for the organization as well as for its component members.
Well, resilience is during a crisis like this that is ongoing. It's really important. This crisis in particular fostered incredible innovation and creativity because we were changing on a dime.
We've found hidden reserves of strength. I think we've found an opportunity to come together in adversity as one team. These are the sorts of things that are so important to keeping our economy up and running.
I think what the challenges have taught us is who we really are. And it goes back to making a path when you can't find one.
We've worked very closely with other AIM members through our own task force to ensure that we can work towards economic vibrancy in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Hello and welcome to Honoring Resilience. I'm Michael Holly. Today we're recognizing the critical role business is playing in Massachusetts as it recovers from COVID-19. So many employers have had to use every bit of grit and innovation to survive the crisis, save their establishments, and support the people who work for them. And they've done it with help from AIM, Associated Industries of Massachusetts. It's the largest business association in the Commonwealth, representing the interests of more than 3,500 companies. From mom and pop shops to industry leaders, AIM advocates for economic growth and helps its members improve productivity, make connections, and be a positive force for a change in creating a more prosperous world. These unprecedented times have shown just how integral each member of AIM is to the well-being of the community. The creation of a job and a person's ability to do it weaves together every important aspect of social and economic stability, the desire for a better life, the ability to support a family, the confidence to start a business. All that seemed suddenly fragile with the onset of the COVID pandemic when much of the state closed down. But with courage, creativity, and determination, AIM members have found new ways to overcome adversity, open their doors, and start to revive the economy, so everyone can thrive. Today, we're saluting that spirit of perseverance and that willingness to do what it takes. Thomas Wesley of the Waters Corporation says it's all about adapting.
So resilience to me is difficult to define, so I went to the dictionary. And there's several definitions. One is to retain your form and shape after being contorted. And somehow that didn't seem quite right in this situation. We didn't want to be the same corporation we were coming out. The other definition has to do with buoyancy. When I think about buoyancy, it's about diving into the deep end of the pool with a big breath full of air and exhausting yourself and popping up and coming out of that pool someplace else and reacting to the situation and the environment that's around you. That's what I see this is what this is going to be for Waters. This is what resiliency means to us, to be able to respond not as the same person that was under stress, but as a different type of entity that comes out emboldened and strengthened by the experience.
Thanks, Tom. Now let's get to our first award. The AIM Vision Award recognizes companies, organizations, and individuals who have made unique contributions to the cause of economic opportunity in Massachusetts. It reflects AIM's mission to stand for jobs, economic growth, and the private sector's role in creating a more prosperous state for everyone. We have two Vision Award recipients tonight. One is MITRE Corporation of Bedford. It was founded in 1958 as a private, not-for-profit company providing engineering and technical guidance for the federal government. Today, MITRE maintains federally funded research and development centers and partnerships with private companies to advance discoveries in everything from homeland security to the judiciary. It's being honored for its work to advance discoveries in artificial intelligence, health informatics, cyber intelligence, and more. Meet MITRE.
The world is full of challenges, and we're ready to take them head on. In fact, at MITRE, we're working on some of the world's most difficult problems.
We are here to create a safer world.
And we're able to do all this because we attract the best talent. We are a world-class team of innovators, thought leaders, visionaries, and doers.
We know we are called to do more, do better, think differently, and move faster. and we are meeting those challenges every day.
I love coming to work knowing that I'm helping to make the world a safer place. Every day.
My name is Jason Pravadakis, President and CEO of the MITRE Corporation. I want to express my thanks both from myself, the Board of Trustees, as well as all the employees of MITRE for the Corporate Vision Award, to John Regan and the AIM organization for recognizing us for our innovative work that we do within the community, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We work closely with many of the academic institutions there. Obviously, we work closely with Hanscom Air Force Base that we had a long history with, and many other industry partners inside the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This is a special award for us, given that tight relationship between us and this community inside the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And it's a real honor to be accepting this award today. Thank you.
Congratulations to MITRE. AIM also salutes MITRE for being involved in the international response to COVID-19. On to the second AIM Vision Award. This one goes to AT&T Positively Digital. It's an initiative designed to equip students with leadership skills and help them navigate the challenges and opportunities they find online. AT&T Positively Digital collaborates with 3 Boston youth organizations to help their members make positive choices on the internet. Take a look at the program in action before COVID.
Is a lot more connected and a lot more 24/7 than it was when I was your age. You guys pay attention to what your phone tells you about how often you're on it?
It sends you a message like, you've been on your phone for 8 hours, and I'm like, oh wait, let me put it down. Like,
It's always there. When I was a kid, if I didn't want to talk to somebody, just went home and shut the door. Wasn't that hard.
In this day and age, everyone's watching you. If you did something dumb in middle school, that follows you for the rest of your life, really.
One of the biggest challenges I see is the anonymity. I mean, think about it this way. You're sitting next to me. If we have a conversation, I gotta look you right in the eye. If I disagree with you about something, I'm probably gonna be a little more respectful.
And like you're building somebody, like you're doing it behind the screen. You don't have to like kind of face the consequences as much.
Exactly.
In person, then you feel like you can just keep on doing it.
As somebody who went through it, there wasn't like a guide of like, this is what you do when you're being bullied, or you don't have someone.
We still don't know all that social media has to offer, the good and the bad, but I think that it's really important that we start talking about it now.
Bringing awareness that it's not okay and that there is support out there for the people that are going through it, you know?
I mean, I think a lot about the amount of information that travels on social media that's just negative. You guys get any guidance about modeling behavior? Do you talk about that with teachers or family or friends?
When I was like 11 and first went into Camp Harbor View, I like saw all these like staff and stuff like going to college, getting their education, just being real leaders, people of color being successful. And I think that that really helps to just see like what else is out there for them.
You can't be it if you can't see it.
Yeah.
I feel like whatever you put out there is gonna be seen by somebody else. So you're just like setting a good example.
Everybody has to, work on becoming a better community. And I feel like it starts at home, and it starts with, the people that we look up to.
And I guess one of the things leaders can do is to pop positive stuff out there. Things that people are doing that are great. Going to college, being counselors, serving as leaders in your communities. You're setting quite a road for yourself, and I hope that path takes you to some really special places.
Now here to accept the award is Patricia Jacobs, president of AT&T Northern Region.
Thank you, and thank you for participating in tonight's program. It is my honor on behalf of AT&T to accept this award in recognition of our AT&T Believes Positively Digital program. I'm really accepting it on behalf of our partners, Jack Connors and Sharon McNally of Camp Harbor View, Robert Lewis of the Base, and Josh Kraft of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston. These partners and their incredible staff and talented youth are what brought our program to life. I also want to thank Governor Charlie Baker and Mayor Marty Walsh for meeting with the kids and talking with them about what it means to be a leader and how to use technology and social media to create positive change in their communities. In closing, I want to thank John Regan and everyone at AIM for this wonderful recognition. And thank you for everything you've done to keep us informed, connected, and moving forward during these challenging times. Thank you.
Congratulations to both of the AIM Vision Award winners. Now here's a message from one of our sponsors.
We are parents and children, neighbors and friends. We are young and we are wise. We are tried and we are true. We are the first to the front and the last to sleep. We go the extra mile, so that mile helps millions. We are a community of fighters and leaders, driven by compassion, strength, and the belief that we can get through anything, accountable not just to ourselves, but one another. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts, we are honored to be your namesake and committed to doing everything we can so you can stay strong for your family and the community. We'll fight this the way we always do, because together, we are mighty Massachusetts.
People in almost every field have had to figure out how to adjust to stay afloat in this pandemic. That's been especially true of frontline workers who were forced to confront COVID when so little was known about it. People in healthcare had to save lives while putting their own on the line. So where did their resilience come from? Marsha Moorer of Beth Israel Lahey Health explains.
Resilience is really about hanging in there through something that's long and sustained and very difficult to face. COVID-19 was certainly a crisis of that nature. Part of our resilience was really about being supported by so many different people. The greater Boston community and Massachusetts overall supported our staff at the hospital. People sent us donations of personal protective equipment. They sent us masks, they sent us gloves. People sent us water, people sent us food, people sent us flowers. People drove in front of the hospital honking their horns and waving. There were hundreds of ways that people in the community supported us. This crisis in particular fostered incredible innovation and creativity because we were changing on a dime. Things were happening in terms of what we were supposed to do with our personal protective equipment. One example of incredible creativity was needing to figure out how to decontaminate N95 masks. These are things we did on the fly during incident command. We are continuing to move through all the areas of our staff who were involved in the intense crisis response with our spiritual care program and our social work program and all of our psychiatric providers to make sure people have a chance to debrief, get the help they need, have time off, have that ability to be resilient by being supported.
Thank you, Marsha. The year 2020 has posed unprecedented challenges for Massachusetts employers. A public health crisis, business lockdowns, unemployment, and a reassessment of attitudes toward racial equity have all tested the mettle of employers throughout the Commonwealth. Associated Industries of Massachusetts has been working hard to help companies write a positive ending to the story. The group's resources and the ingenuity of its members are making all the difference right now. I sat down with Chair Joanne Hilferty to learn how AIM is helping businesses navigate these tough times.
I've been a member of AIM and on the board for a number of years, but as chair of the board, I've gained a deeper appreciation for AIM and its members. It's a community of dreamers and innovators and pragmatists and operators, all committed to enhancing economic opportunity in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. People who lead these companies are savvy and hardworking. And I'm thrilled that they consider AIM a partner as they run their businesses in good times and in challenging times the way we have right now. AIM is the largest business association in Massachusetts, and it has the size and the breadth and the influence to bring about meaningful change for business and for community. It's adopted a new paradigm, and rather than a traditional business association, it views its role as balancing the economic requirements of employers with the needs of the society in which it plays a very important role. AIM's advocacy has evolved to reflect the new paradigm as well. We're very proud, for example, that we were at the table negotiating a reasonable solution for paid family and medical leave in Massachusetts. AIM is committed to reflecting the diversity of the businesses and the business leaders in the Massachusetts economy. Diversity and inclusion is part of everything we do, whether it's advocacy or membership or governance. I recognize that the fact that after a century, AIM elected its first woman as chair of the board is an important step, and a long overdue one. But that step needs to lead us to a point where women and people who are Black and brown and Latinx and transgender and gay are a recognized part of the leadership of AIM. That's the journey that we're on. That's a business imperative, and it's critical for AIM's future success. The work that we've done on diversity and inclusion set the framework for our response to the horrific deaths of George Floyd and others, and to the public outcry on systemic racism. We issued a statement with a specific set of actions. We committed to accelerate our diversity and inclusion initiatives. We committed to listening to our members who are Black and brown. And we committed to taking additional steps to support people of color and the businesses that they run. Since then, we've continued to implement our plan and move forward, but we know there's a lot more that we need to do. And we're counting on all the members of AIM to step up and support our activities and efforts. The economy and AIM have been through incredible changes in recent months, tremendous turmoil, but I couldn't be prouder of the work that the board and the staff and the board committees have done to respond and to support the members of AIM. It's been incredibly impressive to me, and I know signals the kind of engagement that we'll have in the months and years to come. It's going to make a difference.
Thanks, Joanne. Now let's hear from another business leader, an AIM member, on what resilience means to her.
You know, when I think about a company being resilient, I really do think about how is a company able to pivot? How are you able to change in an environment to survive? One innovation that happened at Lancaster was the employees themselves in looking at how we need to be prepared for what if scenarios that may come up is they came up with unique ways to cross-train. And it was really innovative because the thought process was, what if a loved one gets sick, or what if one of them gets sick, and how can we react on a dime and move quickly and everyone be safe. And I think that the way that the team functioned is something that we'll take forward beyond this.
One of the roots of the resilience we're seeing from so many companies is education. And learning isn't limited to classrooms. Personal excellence can be developed anywhere, including a basketball court or a baseball field. The base in Roxbury proves that, using sports, academics, and career training to reimagine paths to success for urban kids. AIM is honoring the base tonight with the John Gould Education and Workforce Training Award. It recognizes contributions to the advancement and employability of the people of Massachusetts. Here's how the base is changing misconceptions and opening doors.
Dear America, when you look at me, what do you see? Do you see me for who I am? Or just where I'm from? Can you see my dedication and commitment? My potential and talent? Or do you see a gang member, an illegal immigrant, a drug dealer, a lost cause, just another kid from the hood? Statistics even say you might see me behind bars, but the truth is, the only bar I see is set high, higher than most, because it has to be. And I don't need charity or a handout to reach it. All I need is an opportunity, one that I can earn, one that allows me to discover my own potential, one that allows you to see me. All of my heart, talent, and desire. The desire to do better for myself, my family, and my community. The heart and talent needed to make it happen. America, it's time. It's time to change perception. It's time to change mindsets. It's time to open your eyes. Because you're overlooking a remarkable American resource.
Me.
Talent that's waiting to better our country with the amazing things we will accomplish. Talent that lies within the heart of every urban community. So America, when you look at me, do you know what you should see? Your future.
Now here to accept the award is Robert Lewis Jr., founder of The Base.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the Associated Industries of Massachusetts for this year's John Gould Award, in particular on education and workforce training. We at The Base really strive for our young folks to have the opportunity to be participants in a 21st century workforce. And it's important for us that we're preparing our young folks from education, workforce development, skill-based learning to really participate in this next economy. To be honored tonight and, to really share in this award with you on behalf of myself and The Base really just means a lot to us. And I'm really excited tonight as you are celebrating resiliency as your theme. This is what it's going to take for our young folks to be successful in the world, is to be resilient, to have these opportunities, and really to strive for excellence. I want to just thank, again, the Associated Industries of Massachusetts, AIM, for all you do to ensure that our young folks have opportunities for success. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. By the way, when Robert Lewis speaks about resilience and determination, he has firsthand experience. Robert fell gravely ill with COVID-19 earlier this year, one of thousands of Massachusetts residents to become sick during the first weeks of the pandemic. He has fortunately made a full recovery, much to the relief of his family and many friends. Now here's another message from one of our sponsors.
At its core, we've always seen what we do as building and bolstering a community. For us, it's all about protecting people, whether that's making sure they're working safely, receiving benefits, or learning best practices to reach and maintain a healthy and informed workplace. The COVID-19 pandemic has only reinforced that drive. Whether we can help Massachusetts businesses adapt to remote work, find the best resource guidelines for their industry, or keep coverage in place during difficult times, together we can navigate any storm that comes our way.
As we honor resilience, let's hear from two more business leaders on what they say has kept their companies and their customers going over the last few months.
Resilience is our people who have showed up every day to make essential parts for our customers, including the lab diagnostic testing equipment for COVID. It is no coincidence that Universal Plastics is in Massachusetts, a state which itself has shown tremendous resilience towards small manufacturers like us. Through the recent challenges, I see even more clearly who we are as people, and I have never been more optimistic about our future.
At Bank of America, resilience means coming together to support our clients, our teammates, and our communities through these unprecedented times. That's why in Massachusetts, we have deployed nearly $6 million to organizations working to support the most vulnerable in our community. We've provided relief with more than 53,000 payment deferrals through our client assistance program and supported small businesses by funding more than $1.2 billion in Paycheck Protection Program loans. We have a long road ahead of us, but resiliency also means staying optimistic because we know we will get through this together.
Resilience is, of course, key to getting through a roller coaster year like this one. And it's one of the qualities that makes AIM so proud of its members. I spoke to AIM President John Regan about the accomplishments coming out of 2020 and what's ahead in 2021. John, what has this time meant for AIM and its 3,500 members during the COVID crisis and resulting economic upheaval?
So as a community of over 3,500 members, it's been a time of tremendous resilience for the organization as well as for its component members. One of the things that I'm proudest of is that during the crisis, our members reached out to us and called our employer hotline over 600 times a month. And those calls were a variety of very simple issues as well as extremely complicated issues, with employers talking about the threats to their business and in some instances discussing the potential of having to close the company.
Where do you see the Massachusetts economy going forward?
I think a lot of us are uncertain about where things go from here. I do hope that we'll see a steady improvement in the economy. I think the challenges that arise out of the work from home experience mean that larger urban areas like Boston will continue to see some negative effects if employees don't come back to the workplace. Small sandwich shops and small retailers are going to have a very difficult time if the large urban areas don't fill back up again. So I think it's a period of uncertainty, but again, I think our members are quite resilient and they'll come back.
What is the priority for public policy as we seek to rebuild the economy?
I think the biggest challenge that the Commonwealth faces at the moment is the state budget, with a $6 billion deficit looming, trying to figure out how the Commonwealth continues to function at an appropriate level, particularly as we provide support to cities and towns. It's a real challenge, and I think the threat that concerns me is that the solution could actually create challenges from a competitiveness standpoint, giving our employers an additional challenge in addition to reopening, now having to deal with additional taxes potentially.
John, I have to ask you, how have the events of 2020 affected the ability of AIM to act as a community of employers?
It's been amazing to me how important that sense of community is to our members, and I'm so proud to be able to say that in 2020 we've actually added members. The fear when this pandemic began was that we would see members drop out. That hasn't been the case. I think it's a measure of the value of the information that we've provided and the value that our employer members put on that information in this community of employers that they want to be part of.
Thanks to AIM President John Regan for his comments. We'll end the program on that uplifting note. Congratulations to all the award winners and to all the businesses and employees doing their best to make it through this pandemic. Your ability to pivot under pressure is as impressive as it is important to the success of Massachusetts and the people who make it great. If you'd like more information on AIM and how to become part of the association, go to aimnet.org. Thanks to all the sponsors who made Honoring Resilience possible. I'm Michael Holly. Thank you for joining us.
There was a remarkable amount of generosity on the part of our colleague companies, particularly the ones that we've dealt with through the Associated Industries of Massachusetts.
It's been empowering. I've been in awe of the people that I work with.
It's been incredibly impressive to me, and I know signals the kind of engagement that we'll have in the months and years to come.